Welcome to GAC's Master Series. This is the show that honors career achievements in country music, coming to you from the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum in downtown Nashville. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Bill Cody. We're bringing you one of the three very special Master Series shows that feature exclusive GAC coverage of the most prestigious event in country music, the Medallion Ceremony. This is, of course, the ceremony that welcomes new members into the Country Music Hall of Fame. This year's class, Ralph Emery, Mel Tillis, and Vince Gill, who we salute in today's show. Now, everyone loves Vinny, and the red carpet was full of people wanting to share that love. GAC's Nan Kelly was there and caught up with Rodney Crowell, Emmylou Harris, Rascal Flatts' Joe Don Rooney, and Vince's lovely and talented wife, Amy Grant.
I'm very proud of him. I think Vince, his career has been unique because he's participated in so many other people's projects, and I really think that in a way, all of us that have had Vince play or sing on a record feel like, hey, I got a Hall of Famer on my record. And whether it's Carrie Underwood or me or, you know, it's decades of artists that he's sung with and supported, and I feel like that he's just dragging a lot of us in there to enjoy the night.
Joe Don Rooney of the trio Rascal Flatts is here. I didn't expect that you were coming.
You know what? I have to be here.
Why is this important?
Because I'm a country music lover. I am, and I love Ralph. I love Mel Tillis, and I really, really love Vince Gill. He's one of my heroes. I mean, he's the reason I'm in Nashville. He really is.
Really?
His singing style, his guitar playing, and just the person he is. You know, he's just awesome. You know, he just really is, and I've always respected that. And I thought the world of him, and he's always influenced me since I started playing when I was a little kid.
That's so
cool. It's so cool this has happened, and it's something I always knew would happen. It was a matter of time. I think we all knew that in the business, but it's really special. So
Vince
I had to be here tonight.
Vince said earlier this evening, he said, I just don't know that people can fully understand what I'm thinking right now. Yeah. As the most awarded act in country music, a male act, he's got to be pretty overwhelmed.
Yeah, more Grammys than anybody. I mean, the big ones, the Grammys, you know, it's like more Grammys than any artist. I mean, it's unbelievable. So that's wonderful for country music, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him, and the guy just never stops. You know, he just puts out hits after hit, and you know, he put this new album out with 40 songs or something like that. I haven't written 40 songs in my life yet. And he writes 4 songs for
You
one
just give
project.
it a little more time, Joe Don.
He's amazing. He's that triple threat of, you know, great singer, of course, great writer, and a great guitarist.
Well, as busy as Rascal Flatts is with the new album, Still Feels Good, just cranking it out there on the charts, I had to hit that because you guys are just rocking. I know that all the people here appreciate you taking your busy schedule to come out and pay tribute to the Hall of Famers.
Of course, always. We
Get
love
in there.
them.
Have a good time tonight, Joe Don. One of the notorious Cherry Bombs, Rodney Crowell, and the great Emmylou Harris is here. You guys are here tonight to perform for Vince, right? What are you going to be singing this evening, Emmylou?
Some Things Never Get Old. It's a song that I actually sang on the record with Vince, and so I get to relearn it. Yeah, it's great singing with Rodney. He's one of my favorite duet partners, so it's really
Rodney?
Some things never get old.
Well, tell me this. Does Vince even know that you all are going to be?
It's supposed to be a surprise. I hope nobody has spilled the beans.
Well, I was told that it was a surprise, but I did run into him in the alleyway back there, and it's like I kind of ducked him.
Yeah.
You did?
I did. I ducked him.
Well, he doesn't know you're singing.
Well, he saw me. He's like, he reached out to hug me, and I ducked him.
Oh, then now he knows.
So he knows something's up.
Well, talk a little bit about how you feel about Vince Gill. I know you guys have a history together, both of you.
Well, you know, I was thinking about this, and actually Vince should probably, even if he wasn't talented, he's such a great guy. I mean, he's done so much for the community and the world that we should probably be giving him an award anyway. Then he happens to be so extraordinarily gifted. And so it's really an honor to be here tonight to give him some kudos, be a part of it. Yeah.
Rodney?
Yeah, we go back to Hermosa Beach when Emmylou lived in Hermosa Beach and I lived in Hermosa Beach, and that's when I first met Vince, and he was hanging out down there. We used to play one-on-one basketball. He's taller than me, but...
Well, I didn't play basketball. Maybe I watched.
Maybe you were roller skating. Were you in the roller
Was I roller? I'm not a good roller skater. Rodney, you're giving me more credit than I deserve.
But, you know, it's like, here's the thing, you know, Vince, he had all that talent that we recognize. And, you know, I was in awe of his talent from the get-go. Just like, oh, the boy sings like, you know, it's like butter coming out of his mouth. And here we are honoring him tonight, singing one of his songs. First time I ever heard Vince sing, he was singing one of my songs. So I guess we've come full circle.
We've come full circle. Yeah, we're happy to be here.
We wish you great luck in there, not that you need it. I know Vince will be just tickled to see you up there on the stage. Rodney Crowell and Emmylou Harris, thank you.
Coming up next, I'm going to take you to Vince Gill's medallion presentation with tributes by Michael McDonald, Guy Clark, Rodney Crowell, and his induction by Whisperin' Bill Anderson. You stay tuned. You'll see it all right here, exclusively on GAC's Master Series. I'm Bill Cody.
He told me when he recorded These Days, the 4 CD set, that from now on he wanted to be known as Quad Cephas.
Why do I love Walmart? Mackenzie Lynn Jacobs. All she wanted for Christmas was an iPod Nano. I had no idea they had iPods at Walmart. And the price was great. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Faith Hill, The Hits. A collection of the biggest songs, including the new single Red Umbrella. Faith Hill, The Hits. Available now. The perfect gift this holiday.
Born in 1983, Ben Winkler was one of the first Cabbage Patch Kids. But it wouldn't be long before this Cabbage Patch Kid became a Cabbage Patch adult. Like so many child stars before him, Ben was struggling. However, his bad fortune turned around when in 2003, it is believed he switched his car insurance to Geico, netting him much-needed money. Financially secure, he went on to win a celebrity dance competition.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
As a chef, I get inspired by foods that just taste better, like Eggland's Best Eggs.
As a nutritionist, I'm impressed that EBs have 10 times more vitamin E and 25% less saturated fat.
Eggland's Best, a perfect marriage of taste
and nutrition.
Take a closer look at your skin. It's amazing. Bending and moving with you. How you feel the world around you. Your waterproof barrier. Do you see skin the way we do? Your skin is amazing. Help keep it that way with Vaseline.
I played a lot of stages over the years, but there's one I never get tired of that's set for a great time, day or night, Tennessee.
There's no end to the beauty, music, and adventure starring in Tennessee. For an unforgettable vacation or weekend getaway any time of the year, we've got the perfect stage for you.
Let's pick it up a little bit, honey. There's all kinds of things to do in Tennessee, but next time, let's take the pink Cadillac.
Call or click for your free Tennessee vacation guide.
Know what I love about Walmart? They really know how to help me drop a hint. Save money, live better, Walmart.
Pick up Spider-Man 3 on Blu-ray today at the low Walmart price for a superior high-def experience. Also available on DVD.
Satisfy your need for speed and sound with the GAC Sprint Sound and Speed Sweepstakes. Just go to GACTV.com to register. One grand prize winner receives round-trip airfare for 2 to Nashville, plus 2 tickets for all of the events at the 3rd annual Sprint Sound and Speed event, where country music meets NASCAR.
There's always been a really easy crossover for country music and racing.
What are you waiting for? Step on it and register now for the GAC Sprint Sound and Speed Sweepstakes. Brought to you by AutoZone and this fine sponsor.
Welcome back. It's GAC's Master Series and the medallion ceremony for Vince Gill, held right here. It's our television home, the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum in downtown Nashville. After the red carpet entrance, a crowd of stars and legends gathered in the Hall of Fame's Ford Theater for the medallion program. One of the cool things about the ceremony is that the inductee really has no idea who's going to show up. So it's safe to say Vince was surprised and certainly overwhelmed, as you'll see, with tributes from Michael McDonald, Guy Clark, Rodney Crowell, and Bill Anderson, who had the honor of inducting Vince. Take a look.
Good evening, everybody. You know, Ray told that story a little bit earlier about the chicken flight, and I'm considering that kind of providential, so I'm going to go ahead, and it was something I was struggling with, was whether or not to apologize for this. But you see, being so close to Halloween, I thought this was a costumed event, which is precisely why I came dressed as Colonel Sanders tonight. Anyway, I do want to congratulate Ralph, Mel, and Vince. I know that this, for them, is a great honor, and couldn't be more well-deserved.
I've done this song several times for Vince, different places. Just remember, anytime, any place.
My daughter Caitlin is responsible for the name Benefit. Vince used to hang around the house, and I called him Vincent. And my daughter Caitlin interpreted that to mean benefit, and that's become our beloved name for Benefit, who I would say it's very apropos because all of our lives have benefited from knowing you, Benefit.
Absolutely.
He told me when he recorded These Days, the 4 CD set, that from now on he wanted to be known as Quad Cephas. And of all the accolades given him tonight, not one person has mentioned that this is the man that gave the world that great country song, "It's hard to kiss the lips at night that chew your out all day long." What can you possibly say about a man whose talent has already said it all for itself? And not just his talent, but his character, his integrity, his generosity, his sense of humor, his humility, and his humanity. They've all spoken volumes, and a lot louder than I will. In the mid-1990s, I had been away from songwriting for a period of about 10 years. I came to Nashville to be a songwriter, and a lot of other things kind of got in the way. And in the early 1980s, I quit trying to write songs, started doing a bunch of other things like game shows on television and soap operas and selling fried chicken for a national restaurant chain. And the music business had changed a lot, and the music had changed a lot between the early 80s and the early 90s. And I wanted to get back into songwriting real bad, and I wasn't quite sure how to do it. And people kept telling me, well, you need to meet some of the new young writers and the new young singers and take your cues and your advice for today's country music from them. And a mutual friend of mine, and Quad Cephas's, kept saying, you need to get together with Vince Gill. And she kept telling Vince Gill, you need to get together with Bill Anderson. I didn't figure Vince Gill knew who Bill Anderson was. I had never actually met him. Well, I met him once, very briefly, but I didn't really know him, and he didn't really know me, and he was in the mid-90s at the very top of his game as an artist and as a songwriter. And all I could think of was this great guy who's on top of the world right now. What would he see in trying to write a song with an old man? I thought, golly, I'm a dinosaur, I'm sure, in his eyes. But something kept telling me to take that phone number out of my pocket and give him a call. I thought there's no way that he even knows who Whispering Bill is. So one day I took the number out and I crossed my fingers and took a deep breath, and I called him, the man that I didn't think knew who Whispering Bill was. He didn't answer the phone, but I got his voicemail, and it said, "Hi, this is Whispering Gill." "I'm not here, but I'll return your call." Hell, not only did he know who I was, he was stealing my act. But you know what? He agreed to write songs with me. And he met me over at Larry Fitzgerald's office one cold January morning. And we wrote a song together, and at the end of the day, he said, "That was fun. You want to do it again?" And I said, "I'd love to." And so a week later, we got together and wrote for the second time. He recorded both of the songs that we wrote, and it opened up a door in Nashville for me that I was afraid had been closed forever. But because he was willing to take a chance with an old dinosaur, I've had a whole second childhood as a songwriter. Thank you, pal. It wouldn't have happened without you. Michael McDonald's beautiful rendition of Go Rest High on That Mountain just validates what a great song that is, and it's kind of a morbid thought, but I'm going to share this with you because I happen to know this as a fact. That song is now the most sung and performed song at funeral services in the entire United States of America. More people have Go Rest High on That Mountain sung at their final services than any other song. I think all of us know Vince Gill well enough to know that he's not going to go rest anywhere anytime soon. Lord willing, he's going to continue to create, to entertain, and to inspire. But tonight, he comes to the top of that mountain known as country music. Induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Nobody expects you to rest high on the mountain, Vinny. Just enjoy the view, because you've earned it.
What a special night and what a special man. Now, you want to stay right there where you are, because when I come back, we're going to take a look at Vince's heartfelt speech, and you know it's going to be emotional. I mean, Vince starts out talking about how much he's going to cry. You don't want to miss this. It's coming up next on GAC's Master Series when we come back.
My plan for this is to take this and validate it for what I do with the next 20, 25, 30 years, whatever God gives me.
Get Top Country Hits as ringtones for your cell phone. Just go to GACTV.com and click on the banana button.
We used to have a pet hair problem.
Not anymore.
Pet hair was out of control. It was on the furniture, our clothing, everywhere.
It's not like you can shave a cat.
Anyway, we love our pets, so we adjusted.
Take control of your pet hair with the Bissell Pet Hair Eraser. Its dual cyclonic power with superior suction and special attachments work like a magnet on pet hair and everyday messes.
So no more plastic.
Let's have kids.
Bissell, we mean clean.
So, Miss Coat Authority, what's hot?
Rich wools, that's hot. Sporty ski jackets, that's hot. Saving money, that's hot.
Save big on top brand coats for everyone. Burlington Coat Factory, the Coat Authority.
Wrap up your holiday shopping with the perfect gifts for all the music lovers on your list.
Because of you, I never stray.
Reba duets and George Strait's 22 more hits. Get them both today at Best Buy.
On Great American Country, the Top 20 Countdown is as easy as see the song, love the song. Log on to GACTV.com and pick the song. The Top 20 Country Countdown, tonight at 8, 7 Central. On GAC, Great American Country.
What'll be under your tree this year? Pajamas? Fruitcake? More perfume you won't wear? How about putting the body you want on your wish list for Christmas with a Bowflex Tread Climber cardio machine? Order a Tread Climber by December 31st. Pay as little as $24 a month, and we'll deliver it just like Santa for free. The Bowflex Tread Climber machine's unique independent dual treadle system engages more muscles and burns more calories than traditional home cardio equipment. In fact, the Tread Climber burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill at the same speed, so you can get the body you want in half the time. All it takes is just one 30-minute workout 3 times a week.
Over the past 6 weeks, I've lost 10 pounds, 18 plus inches, 2% body fat, and 10 inches.
Make your season brighter with Bowflex. Get a Bowflex Tread Climber for as little as $24 a month, and we'll ship it just like Santa for free. Call or go online now.
Life is hard. Pay-per-view is easy.
I'm pregnant.
With a baby?
You're the father.
How long you kids been married? We're not.
You single?
I guess I'm the new Christmas guy. No way he beats us. Zingo! I want you to build an ark.
Those animals are following me. Everybody hang on!
DirecTV pay-per-view. Just press a button and you're watching your movie.
Welcome back to GAC's Master Series and Vince Gill's Medallion Ceremony. I'm your host, Bill Cody. The ceremony took place here at the Country Music Hall of Fame. Just down below where we do our show is the Ford Theater. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, this is just one of 3 very special Master Series highlighting the prestigious Medallion Ceremony honoring the newest inductees into the Country Music Hall of Fame. They are Ralph Emery, Mel Tillis, and Vince Gill. One of the highlights of the Medallion Ceremony was without a doubt Vince's heartfelt speech. What a pro. Humorous, along with the emotion that goes with a night like this. You can tell how much it means to him to have this honor bestowed upon him. Take a look, Vince Gill and his induction speech.
Oh my goodness. I was doing pretty good there for a while, and I wasn't doing so good for a while. I know that a lot of my buddies are out there betting the over and under on how many times I'll cry. But I always seem to try to diffuse my emotion with humor. It's served me pretty well over all these years. You know, I've never had any work done in my face or my eyes, or no chest implants or butt implants. But I'm going to work on that chin. You have my permission to take about 20 pounds off of that sucker. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. I'm honored that so many people have come out tonight to honor myself and Ralph and Mel Tillis. Those are some great guys. I'm really flattered to be in your company and be in your class. Mel, I met first in, I think, 1980, 81, something like that. And I said this at the press conference when I first met Mel and his band, the Statesiders, and I was around them for a while. I thought, the Rolling Stones, the Who, any of those guys just think they party. That's a world-class bunch right there. If they're ever going to write the book, they should do it. So congratulations, Mel. And you've inspired me. As I look around this room and I see so many fellow Hall of Famers, that sounds great. Please understand, I learned from you all. I always tried to be a great student. I always felt like I was a sponge as a kid, and I took this music in, and it never left, and it kept growing and growing and growing, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart for inspiring me with the records you made, the songs you wrote. And what's interesting is I turned out to be a musician. I never really was one of those guys that stood with a hairbrush and posed in the mirror and gyrated like the king, like Elvis. You know, I loved the song El Paso, but I was more fascinated with how Grady Martin played that solo. And I loved songs like, I think they're going to do one later, one of Mel's, Detroit City. I was impressed with how that guy played that intro. I don't know if it was 2 guys doing it, one guy was tuning it, and one guy was playing it, but it's the coolest intro in history. And I've always been just drawn by all the elements that make up what it is that we love. And in my mind and in my heart, the way I've always approached this music was in a very democratic way. I always felt like all notes were created equal, and that in the process of making a record, no one note was more important than another. I just felt like every note mattered. And I go into this Hall of Fame I think maybe more uniquely than anybody. I don't know if that's true, but it feels that way to me. When I found out that this was going to happen, the first thing out of my mouth was, well, that can't be right. So-and-so should be in there before me, and this person should be in before me. Folks like Emmy and Randy Travis and Hank Jr., and I just went through this whole list of Don Williams and Barbara Mandrell and on and on and on and on, and I just said, that just can't be right. And I think it made me affirm the way that I've tried to live my life, and that was with trying to put everybody else kind of first. That felt like the kindest way to live. And I tried to, thank you. And I enjoyed every role that I was able to play in music. It never mattered that I got to be in the front or in the side, or I just wanted to be in the band. And I was just dumb enough to sing, and then look what happened. But all that to say, I feel like I go in here as a musician, first and foremost, into this Country Music Hall of Fame. And I looked at all these guys playing music tonight, and some of them go back with me to 1975, when I first met them, 1977. And I just looked at every one of their faces and realized that it's every one of those musicians that I shared a band with, or I shared a record with, or whatever it was. And to every musician out there that I ever played a note of music with, you go in this Hall of Fame with me. We did this together. And I started singing as a young boy when I found out girls liked it. And they haven't shut me up since. And what great people I had to learn from. They were all in here tonight paying tribute to singing some of my songs with Rodney and Emmy being the first ones that I'd learned a lot of music in my life and played a lot of music in my life, but I met Rodney and Emmy when I first moved to California in the mid-'70s. And before that, I got to tell this story on Emmy because I always do. I just adore her. And I heard this record that she sang on, and I didn't know anything. I'm a 16-year-old kid, and I went and bought this record because of her voice. I heard her voice and bought the record for that. I took it home, and I looked on the back, and it said Emmylou Harris. I said, oh, that's a funny name. There can't be anybody named Emmylou Harris. And I listened to it over and over, and I said, I've got it. That's Dolly Parton using a fake name. And I convinced all of my friends that that was true. That because of the way the music business was, she couldn't use her real name to sing on the record. And then lo and behold, not long after that, I went into a record store and thumbing through some records, and I found Pieces of the Sky, Emmy's first record. And I picked it up and I said, oh, my God, she's alive. And I started stalking her at that very moment. But I took it home, and I was on cloud 9 that this person existed and was alive. And I put that record on, and the very first song was a song of Rodney's called Bluebird Wine. And there's a reference in the song they sang tonight that says, my first taste of Bluebird Wine. A lot of people think it's going to be a young guy buying him some Annie Greenspan's or some Boone's Farm or something like that for $1.25 and having their first bout with getting pie-faced. But it was that song, my first taste of Bluebird Wine, was life-changing for me because I knew all this music and I loved everything. I could play a little bit of everything, but that was the very first time I vividly remember that I told myself that's what I could see myself doing. That's what I want to do. And I felt pointed for the very first time in my life. And that was an amazing gift that Emmy gave to me in the songs of Rodney. And I moved to California. And the first gig I ever did when I moved out there was at the Troubadour. And they were all playing and singing with Guy Clark. And I had Guy's records and knew a bunch of his songs. And I went out there and just said, well, I have gone to heaven. These are just, it couldn't get any better than this. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being such great mentors and great inspiration to me since I was a young guy. I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. And I guess I earned the nickname Benefit, like Rodney said, from his kid that couldn't pronounce Vincent. But in all honesty, the real reason I tried to do so many things like that was to make up for all the things that I thought I'd done wrong in life. And I did a bunch of them. And I'm not proud of them, but what I wanted in my life was to be able to lay my head on the pillow at night and find peace. And I didn't know how to do that. Through all these years of some success, not success, whatever it was, when I laid my head down on the pillow and I had to be honest with myself, I knew what I'd done right, but also knew what I'd done wrong. So I always tried to better myself and do things that would right those wrongs in my heart, but I could never forgive myself. And I struggled with that for a long, long time. And then I met Amy Grant, and that all kind of changed. I figured in the old days I could kind of BS my way through a day and show everybody a good time, crack the jokes, tell all the dirty jokes, and go home laughing, and everybody thought everything was all right. But then I'd be on that pillow, and I wasn't. And now, thanks to that companionship and that kindness, I've found that peace at the end of a day. And it sure feels great. I love you for that, Miss Amy. God bless you. I have an amazing, I hope I don't set the record of having a longer speech than Randy Owen. I heard it was the longest in history. I'll try not to do that, but I wish you knew how, I know a lot of you do know how much this matters, but I didn't know how I would feel when this happened. I felt, what I felt was awkward to me, because at first I felt like I'm not sure that it's time. It may be that it's too early, or I just started kind of doing all that. And then when I could finally get my arms around it, that it was true and it really was going to happen, I was so motivated that what I wanted to do from this point forward, I said, okay, now, after 35 years of being in this business, I felt like now the pressure's really on. And what I want you to know is that my plan for this is to take this and validate it for what I do with the next 20, 25, 30 years, whatever God gives me. And I am more inspired. I feel reborn. I feel brand new again because of this. And to my family and my friends and everybody that made this possible, we all share this. We're all going in this Hall of Fame together. Thank you so much.
That was Vince Gill, one of the newest members of the Country Music Hall of Fame. Now, the day after the ceremony, we sat down with Vince and talked about his incredible life and career and his induction into the Hall of Fame. Vince was great as always. You stay tuned, you'll see highlights of that conversation. Vince Gill, when we continue on GAC's Master Series.
What do you want for Christmas, Mom?
Oh. Well.
Barry, could you play Winter Wonderland?
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening?
Do you mind? Jingle bells.
Dashing through the snow. Hey, why don't I just do a whole CD for you? Dashing through
the Barry Manilow Christmas CD from Hallmark. Just $7.95 when you buy 3 cards.
Mom.
It's your turn, Mandy.
Only at today's Hallmark Gold Crown stores.
Introducing the Hanes All Over Comfort Bra with Comfort Soft straps.
Look who we got our Hanes on now.
You guys ready for dinner? Yeah. It's gonna be good tonight.
Oh man, I'm hungry.
Enjoy delicious family dinners on your schedule with a crock-pot slow cooker. Easy to prepare, easy to enjoy. Slow food is good food.
Okay, people, we have one night to decorate the store. Don't break anything.
Thank you.
Stay away from the cookies.
Bam! How did I get stuck with this job?
All right, ladies, let's do it. Yo, Usher.
Jessica, darling.
My bad.
Only one star can bring all these stars home for the holidays. That's the magic of Macy's.
Put the power of the Oral-B experts on your holiday shopping list. New Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide. Its wireless monitor helps you brush better, and its floss action head cleans teeth to help reverse gingivitis. Give the gift of oral health. Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide.
Depression can turn you into a person you don't recognize. Unlike the person you used to be. Someone your kids don't understand. Depression hurts. Sadness, loss of interest, aches and pains, fatigue. You can feel it in so many ways. Cymbalta can help. Cymbalta is a prescription medication that treats many symptoms of depression. Tell your doctor right away if your depression worsens or you have unusual changes in mood or behavior, or thoughts of suicide. Antidepressants can increase these in children, teens, and young adults. Cymbalta is not approved for children under 18. People taking MAOIs or thiaridazine or with uncontrolled glaucoma should not take Cymbalta. Tell your doctor about all your medicines, including those for migraine, to avoid a potentially life-threatening condition, and about your alcohol consumption or if you have liver disease. Dizziness or fainting may occur upon standing. Side effects may include nausea, dry mouth, and constipation. Ask your doctor about Cymbalta. Depression hurts. Cymbalta can help.
Taylor Swift is GAC's Artist of the Month. Her self-titled debut release was certified platinum and features the new hit, Our Song. Go to GACTV.com and get your copy of Taylor Swift Deluxe Limited Edition, a CD-DVD featuring 3 new songs, videos, behind-the-scenes live performances, and more. Brought to you by Big Machine Records and FYE for your entertainment.
Welcome back to the Master Series on GAC. The first part of our show tonight has been a look back at the medallion ceremony for a phenomenal singer, songwriter, guitarist, Vince Gill. The next day, we taped another show with Vince where we talked about the medallion ceremony and his outstanding career, a career that still may not have reached its pinnacle. And as always, visiting with Vince somehow just is such a pleasure, puts you at ease. He talks about the joys of hearing himself on the radio and shares with us a backup plan in case he needs to start a new career. Here's Vince Gill.
You said in your acceptance speech, as you said that, ooh.
I like the way that sounds. No, I do. I think if I take anything away from my entire career, I think the most pride I'll feel is when they say that member of the Grand Ole Opry and member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. I can't fathom that there's anything that could even come close to competing with those two things.
You told me a story once about the first time you heard your group on the radio. Was it Mountain Smoke?
Yeah, back in Oklahoma City, still in high school.
Yeah, and they played your song on the radio?
Yeah, once. I guess. No, it was kind of a popular song locally in Oklahoma City. They played it a lot, and it was kind of a regional hit there. And back in the days where you could have a regional hit in a certain part of the country, and I could still drive you to the spot on I-40 where I heard it, and it was pretty neat feeling. And I'll tell you this, in some 35 years later, it still feels the same. If you're riding down the road and they play one of your songs on the radio, it's that feeling never goes away.
Was that the moment that you knew or what was that moment? If that's not it, where you said, "Hey, this I got to do this"?
I don't know.
It was the difference between wanting to do it and enjoying doing it with your friends in high school and going, "Hey."
Probably the first time I sang and a girl liked me because of it was probably the moment that I said, "Oh, I'm going to do this." Oh yeah. I don't know. I really don't know that I ever, if it ever clicked for me, to the point where I said, "Oh yeah, this is what I have to do," because I felt like it's all I ever did do, you know. So as I progressed as a young kid, I was out playing a lot early, young, 15 years old, playing in bars and trying to get people to pay me $50 to come and play in their honky tonk for a night, and so it all kind of felt like I was supposed to do it, you know, more than anything else.
Did you do weddings?
High school dances and proms? I still do weddings.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
Are you the original wedding singer? I mean, the movie should have been about your life, maybe.
I'll tell you a great wedding story. A friend of mine, Tom Pertzer, who plays golf on the Champions Tour, he was getting married in Hawaii to his wife, Lori, and they asked me if I would sing a couple songs. And so we're over in Maui in this beautiful little peninsula out in the middle of nowhere in Hawaii, and a local preacher was going to marry them. And so I got up and he said, "Now we'll have a song from Gill." He didn't even know my name or anything. And so I got up and I sang 2 pretty big hit songs, you know, and they got married and everything was fine. And the preacher comes over and he says, "Hey," he goes, "you're not bad." You know, I said, "Well, thank you." He goes, "Here's my card." He says, "I'll tell you what, if you ever want to do some of this," he goes, "let me know. I'll preach, you sing, we could make some money." So he had no clue, so that was okay too. But yeah, I'll do a wedding or two.
Good to know that in case he falls on hard times, he can always become the wedding singer. Yeah, these days I barely get by. Isn't that old George Jones song, Vince? Don't go anywhere. There's more of our conversation with Vince Gill right after this. We'll talk about that first big hit, how that changed his life, next.
Tonight at 8, you pick 'em, we play 'em. Your top 20 videos of the week, followed by the Hitmen of Music Row, only on GAC, the leader in country music.
With their superior taste and nutrition, you probably think of Eggland's Best as the last word in eggs. Well, here are some other tasteful words to remember: cage-free and organic. Eggland's Best. Better eggs in more ways than one.
Are you having trouble deciding what to get your plus-size wife for Christmas this year?
Laugh with Larry this Christmas with his new CD, Christmas Time in Larryland.
Thanks for buying my brand new Christmas CD.
And his new DVD, Larry the Cable Guy's Christmas Spectacular.
Right now, it's about time to find somebody to go home with. Now, there's a girl got her head screwed on right.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Y'all have yourselves a Merry Christmas.
CD available now. DVD available December 6th.
Get her done.
Why do I love Walmart? Mackenzie Lynn Jacobs. All she wanted for Christmas was an iPod Nano. I had no idea they had iPods at Walmart. And the price was great. Save money, live better. Walmart.
If you plan on building, furnishing, or remodeling your home, or you're just tired of paying retail, don't spend another dollar. Now, you can enjoy an incredible selection of top quality name brand products priced up to 50% less than retail. Take the first step towards saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars on nearly anything for your home. Call for your free Direct Buy Insider's Guide to Buying Direct and learn what retailers don't want you to know. Each full color page of the Insider's Guide is packed with powerful information. Discover some of the hundreds of thousands of products available from over 700 name brand manufacturers. Everything, including furniture, cabinets, appliances, flooring, lighting fixtures, and so much more, all without retail markups. At Direct Buy, you can't afford to miss this valuable opportunity. Call the number on your screen now to get your own Direct Buy Insider's Guide. You'll also receive a visitor's pass and map to the Direct Buy showroom nearest you. The sooner you call, the sooner you'll be buying direct. So call now. If you plan on building, furnishing, or remodeling your home, or you're just tired of paying retail, don't spend another dollar. Now, you can enjoy an incredible selection of top quality name brand products priced up to 50% less than retail. Take the first step towards saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars on nearly anything for your home. Call for your free Direct Buy Insider's Guide to Buying Direct and learn what retailers don't want you to know. Each full color page of the Insider's Guide is packed with powerful information. Discover some of the hundreds of thousands of products available from over 700 name brand manufacturers. Everything, including furniture, cabinets, appliances, flooring, lighting fixtures, and so much more, all without retail markups. At Direct Buy, you can't afford to miss this valuable opportunity. Call the number on your screen now to get your own Direct Buy Insider's Guide. You'll also receive a visitor's pass and map to the Direct Buy showroom nearest you. The sooner you call, the sooner you'll be buying direct. So call now.
Welcome back to GAC's Master Series and highlights of our interview, in-depth interview, a sit-down with Vince Gill, one of the newest members of the Country Music Hall of Fame. Now, Vince is one of the most well-liked and well-respected guys in this town in the music business, so it was great to be there and see him go into the Hall of Fame. Vince shared with us his struggles as an up-and-coming artist, turning down the chance to join Dire Straits, for instance, and the song that set him on the path to glory in the Country Music Hall of Fame. When I Call Your Name, take me back to that part of your career. Were you at a point in your career where it either happened with this album or this single, or we may not have ever known Vince Gill as we know him today as an artist?
Well, I don't know about that. I just, I kept trying. I got a record deal in '83 and moved here and struggled for 7 years and never really had any big hits. And everybody, well, he sure sings good, he sure plays good. Why can't he have a hit record? And
what do you think the reason for that was? Why
doesn't matter. And I must say, in hindsight, I'm grateful for it. Because it gave me a chance to be humbled. It gave me a chance to be patient. It gave me a lot of opportunities to invest in this town in so many different ways, which I'm so grateful that I did. I was, a very in-demand session musician and sang on a lot of records and still do, and played on a few, and that's really that would have been okay with me. If I'd have just been a musician and played on everybody's records and made a few records of my own here and there, that would have been plenty, and that's really all I set out to do. And When I Call Your Name, it was interesting how that finally turned things around, because I'd gotten a new record deal with MCA Records in '89, and that's when I'd turned down the offer to join Dire Straits with Mark Knopfler. And I really did not want to turn that down, because I could have used the money. And I admire his music so much, and musically that would have been such an easy fit and a fun fit, and something that just a little bit out of my comfort zone, but still something I would have very much, as a musician, loved to have done. But I said, you know what, I just got this record deal, and I've made a new record, and I don't know if it's going to work. None of the others have, but maybe this one will. And I said, I've invested too much of my life in country music, and I think I belong there, and I think I have a future there, and I just can't bail. I can't bail on myself. And so I turned down the offer, and 2 singles came out. One was called Never Alone, and it kind of did the same thing the rest of the singles had done, kind of found one number that I didn't have in the death of a single. I think I've had one die at every number in the top 100 now. And then Reba was kind enough to do a duet with me of Oklahoma Swing. And we did that, and that cracked the top 10, and kind of everybody said, well, hey, maybe this guy's okay if Reba's singing with him, So that was a great endorsement.
Validate you a little bit.
For me. And then When I Call Your Name came out, and nobody had any great expectations about that. And there was something about it that just completely struck a nerve with people. I don't know if it was a really traditional song at the right time or
was the day in the studio with Patty Loveless and that unmistakable harmony that she found. Was there anything different about that day that you recall?
Well, what I recall is the song was recorded. I'd sung my part, and we all thought, oh, that's a nice waltz, but nobody was jumping up and down saying, this is your future, this is your future. And 2 things happened to that record that gave it to me, its most defining things. One was Barry Beckett's piano intro. Barry Beckett is a great session musician that I've known forever, and he came in late one night, I think 2 in the morning or something, after he'd been in session all day long, and we said, we need a really cool intro for this song. And he came in and played that brilliant intro to When I Call Your Name. And I'm telling you, a lot of people don't realize it's the musicians that really make the difference in hit records a lot of times by playing something definitive, something memorable, and something that matters. And then all of a sudden, that intro gave this song a brand new life. And then not long after that, Patty came and sang on it. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. When she hit that first harmony part, Tony and I looked at each other, and Tony Brown, who produced that record for me, when she hit that first line and we heard it, it came leaping out of the speakers that here's something that's special, you know. And as much as I like my part on that record and like that I wrote that song, I really believe that it was Patty and Barry that made that memorable. And there's also another element to that song. Paul Franklin played the steel guitar solo in there, and I'll never forget this long. He's arguably maybe the best pedal steel guitar player that ever hit this town, and he'd played a solo on the song, and I called him back and I said, will you come and replace this solo that you did? And he goes, well, no, I don't want to, I like it. And I said, please, I really want it to even go further back in its tradition. I want it to cry, I want it to moan. It really has to speak in a little bit different way. And he was very upset about it, but he came begrudgingly and did it. and then he took me aside later on after that song had done what it's done. He said, I'm so glad that you made me replace that solo.
Yeah, that's, now you know, as you watch, you'll probably never see it or hear it again the same way after Vince's background on When I Call Your Name. Right after the break, Vince is going to share with us his thoughts on his induction, what it means to him. And can you believe the medallion ceremony was the most nervous he's ever been in his career? You'll get that and more next on GAC's Master Series. I'm your host, Bill Cody, coming right back.
The sounds of the holiday season are ringing out on Great American Country.
To go riding in a one-horse.
Join Dina Carter, Steve Azar, Julie Roberts, Blue County, and American Idol's Bucky Covington as they perform classic Christmas tunes as well as new holiday songs in Christmas at the Tennessee. Sunday at 9:30, 8:30 Central on GAC. Brought to you by Dodge. Live life to the fullest. Dodge. Grab life.
Strange things happen in our family room, or as we call it, the mystery spot. When this happened, no one was even in the room. Spooky. This spot covered itself beneath a rug. Atmospheric phenomenon? Luckily, I've got the Bissell Spot Bot. Just put it right on a carpet stain and walk away. It does the work for you. The spot's gone for good. Amazing what can happen when no one's in a room.
Also available, the Spot Bot Pet. Bissell, we mean clean.
So, Miss Coat Authority, what's hot? Rich wools, that's hot. Luxurious leathers, that's hot. Saving money, that's hot. Save big on top brand coats for everyone. Burlington Coat Factory, the Coat Authority.
I've played a lot of stages over the years, but there's one I never get tired of that's set for a great time, day or night. Tennessee.
There's no end to the beauty, music, and adventure starring in Tennessee. For an unforgettable vacation or weekend getaway any time of the year, we've got the perfect stage for you.
Let's pick it up a little bit, honey. There's all kinds of things to do in Tennessee, but next time, let's take the pink Cadillac.
Call or click for your free Tennessee vacation guide.
So, 12 o'clock tea time, someone rear-ends us. Day shot, right? Except I just switched to Progressive Direct Online. They gave me a couple of competitive prices. I picked Progressive and saved $400 a year. And I've been trying to tell these guys I also get their concierge service. So I drop off my car, pick up a rental, and we're gone. So I save $400 and our tea time. Fantastic.
Progressive Direct. It's about you. And it's about time. Sign up online and save $50.
My day starts at the crack of dawn, and my day ends usually at the crack of dawn the next day with kids and work and life. The last thing I want to worry about is my teeth. I need protection all day and night.
Colgate Total has you covered day and night. It fights germs for 12 hours in between brushings, all day and all night.
You don't just want your mouth to be protected for an hour. You want it to be protected for a long time.
Colgate Total, #1 recommended most by dentists.
It's the only toothpaste I use.
We're back at it on GAC's Master Series. Thanks for joining me. I'm Bill Cody, and our salute continues to one of the newest members of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Vince Gill. And don't forget to look for our medallion ceremony specials for fellow inductees Mel Tillis and Ralph Emery, only on GAC. It's our exclusive. Now, looking at Vince Gill, you don't necessarily think Hall of Famer. Don't get me wrong, you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody more deserving, but this is a guy whose career is arguably more prolific now than it ever has been. I mean, his last album was a 4-disc set. But as you will see in this clip, no one has more reverence and respect for country music and the Hall of Fame than Vince Gill does. So no wonder he was so nervous the night of his induction. Watch.
The induction, being into the Hall of Fame, was the most kind of out of sorts I've ever felt in my entire career. I've been nervous in some times and some places where I felt uneasy in certain situations, but there was just a surreal kind of mindset that I had, and I couldn't really get my arms around it. And it even when it was over, I felt like, well, it's all over, and it was really different, you know. But in such a great way, you know, just in that I have so much reverence for this place, because I've always felt like it's eternal. And that to me is a great reason to have so much respect for it, because as I look at that list of people, you know, when I go through the rotunda and I see all those folks, and I think about the impact that every single one of them had on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be a part of this place without them.
When you say eternal, that brings to mind, I mean, there are a lot of people here that you would know in the industry that you never met,
sure,
but you certainly knew their work or their impact, and not just artists, but producer Don Law, somebody that Mel Tillis was talking about, who worked with Lefty Frizzell, and Lefty and Mel ran around together. But did you ever know Lefty? Were you?
No, I never did. I never got to meet him. I knew some of his family members, but never.
But now there's a guy who's in the Hall of Fame, his producer's here, that had a huge impact on you, and that's part of that eternity you talk about.
Well, that's what makes it have so much validity and so much reverence to me, is that it honors all things that represent country music, not just the biggest stars that sold the most records. You know, it has musicians in here, record producers, songwriters, people within the business, and to me that's something to be proud of, because it's about more than just, and that's kind of what it took me a while to understand why I was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, because I think honestly, if I lined up my recording career maybe up against some of the other people that are in the Hall of Fame, I would say mine kind of doesn't have the quantity and as many years and those kinds of things. But if I look at the entirety and really embrace what the Hall of Fame is all about, it's about what kind of person you are. It's about, you know, are you out there doing things for other, you know, and then as I saw my career in its entirety, then it kind of started to soak in that maybe it was okay.
I was going to say, did I do all that? Have I accomplished all those things? You know, when somebody takes the time to put that together, it does strike you. How have I had time to squeeze all that in 50 years?
Yeah, I just feel like that so much of it is about serving other people and doing things for other people, whether it's on their records or whether it's for a cause of something they're passionate about. And I realize that as I look at my life, it's been one that's been pretty free to give it away. And so that means a lot to me. I realize that I'm in here for as much the person I am as the artist I am.
And to you, Vince Gill, congratulations from everyone on GAC's Master Series, one of the newest members of the Country Music Hall of Fame. And I'm willing to bet that he's probably working on some brand new project right now. Whatever the next big thing is, brother, we're waiting. Hope you've enjoyed our exclusive look at the medallion ceremony for the 2007 class of the Country Music Hall of Fame. Ralph Emery, Mel Tillis, and our special today on Vince Gill. Thank you for joining me. We'll look for you back here next time. And next year for the 2008 medallion ceremony. You'll only catch it on GAC's Master Series. I'm Bill Cody.